Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss a topic on classification of cyber crimes. Before going to the topic, let us have a look about definition of cyber crime. Now cyber crime, it is all the criminal activities done using the medium of computers, the internet, the cyberspace and the World Wide Web. So the attacker will be performing all the criminal activities using these medium. Now, what is the cyberspace? Now, the cyberspace is nothing but a place where people chat, explore, research and play. So the attackers will be taking the advantage of all these medium and they will be performing the criminal activities. So in order to perform the criminal activities, the attacker, he has to target, he should have a target. Now that target can be an individual person, it can be an organization, and it can be a society, or it can be a Usenet group, or it can be someone's property. So let us now discuss each and every category of cybercrime targets with a detailed note. Now first one, it is a cybercrime against an individual. Now in this cybercrime against an individual, the criminals or attackers will be targeting individual persons to commit or perform the cyber crime. Now let us look into what type of crimes can be performed on engineering. The first one, it is electronic mail spoofing, or you can call it as a email spoofing. Now it is an email spoofed appears to originate from one source but actually has been sent from other. Now for example, a bank customer, let us suppose I am a customer of HDFC Bank. I got a mail from HDFC Bank, but it is not sent by an HDFC Bank, but it is sent by an attacker by spoofing the mail address. Now they will spoof the mail address so that the people will think that it is the original mail ID of a particular bank or particular organization, and we will get trapped. So that is called electronic mail spoofing. They will be spoofing the electronic mails and they will be sending to the targeted people. Next one, it is a phishing. It is a cybercrime in which a target are contacted by email, telephone or text message by someone posing as a legitimate institution to lure individual into providing sensitive data. Now phishing, in simple words, we can say that it is trapping the people through and getting the sensitive information. It is called a phishing. Now they can use mobile phones, they can use mail, or they can use some pop-up windows in order to get that sensitive data. That is called a phishing. Now for example, someone might be calling that we are an employee from so and so bank. We are deactivating your debit card for some technical reasons. If you want to activate your debit card, please provide your debit card details along with the password. So now what happened, if they will they will make a call in such a way that they will have a conversation in such a way that we will think that really they are the employees of so and so bank, and we will be providing the details. So that is called a phishing. Next one, it is spamming. Sending unsolicited bulk messages indiscriminately is called a spamming. The people who create spam are called spammers. Example, email spams, mobile phone messaging spam are some of the examples of spamming technique. So what example is that in our mail into our inbox of our Gmails, daily we will be getting a message from the same organization, or a same advertisement will be floating into our mailbox. That can be one of the example of spam message, but that messages are not useful to us. Next one, it is a cyber defamation. Now cyber defamation is nothing but defaming someone with the help of a computer and or the internet. Now the defamation can be done using two ways. One is libel. Libel is nothing but you are defaming someone by writing on your blogs or writing in a social media. Slander is nothing but oral defamation. Okay, the example can be writing badly about an individual or spreading rumors about a celebrity on websites or social media. Next, coming to the cyber stalking. Cyber stalking, it is the use of internet or other electronic means to stalk or to harass an individual. Okay, now for example, we will be getting an unknown calls, and what they will be doing, they will be threatening us or they will be blackmailing us. Now that person can be a well-known person to us, but he will be hiding his identity. Or someone will be sending us emails emails, the content in that email is very vulgar, or they might be blackmailing us with some private data of us. So that is called a cyber stalking. Next one, it is a computer sabotage. The use of internet to hinder the normal functioning of a computer is called a computer sabotage. Now sabotage is nothing but causing damage. So what happens, the attackers will use the internet in order to damage our computer. Either it can be a network or they can damage your computer operating system. So what happens is that will make malfunctioning of our computer system. The system does not function normally, but it does malfunctioning. Now how it can happen is like, example, they might be introducing the virus or worms into the target system. Next one, it is a pornographic offenses. So pornographic offenses, it is a very what we can say that it is very difficult, it is very difficult in order to avoid this type of offenses. Now child pornography is one of the major issue which in the internet era. Now child pornography means visual deception which may include any photograph that can be considered absence, unsuitable for the age of a child viewer, or it can be a film, video or a pictures posted on the internet. Next one, it is a password sniffing. Password sniffers are the programs that monitor and record the name and password of network users as they log in, violating the security at the site. Now, for example, it is nothing but someone else login ID and password. The attacker will be cracking it and he will be entering into that particular website using that particular login ID and password. Now, example is that guessing the passwords through the techniques such as brute force, installing the keylogger softwares to get the password. So it can be, it is nothing but the attackers will get the passwords, login IDs and the passwords of the target, and they will be entering into that particular person's, either it can be their mail IDs or either it can be their systems, either it can be their organization's website, and they will be performing some actions by logging into that particular forum and getting the data what they require or doing some changes into the data. So that is called the password sniffing. So these are the different crimes which one can perform against an individual. So going to the next category of cybercrime, it is cybercrime against a property. Now, in this one, what they will be doing, the attackers will be targeting mainly for the financial gain. So first one, it is a credit card frauds. Now the credit card frauds, these are the trending cybercrime we can say, and many of the users are becoming the victims of this fraud. Now credit card fraud, in simple words, it's nothing but the looting of finance of credit card holders by hacking their credit card information from the database. So what the attackers will be doing, from the database they will be getting the credit card information of users and they will be creating they will be generating the duplicate credit cards by using the original credit card information, and they will be using that credit cards, or they might be selling the credit cards. And next one, it is intellectual property crimes. Now in this intellectual property crimes, it may include software piracy, copyright infringement, trademark violations, theft of computer source code. Coming to the last one of cybercrime against property, it is the internet time theft. Now internet time theft is nothing but stealing, right? So internet time theft is nothing but stealing someone's internet time. It occurs when an unauthorized person uses the internet hours paid for by another person. This comes under the hacking because the person has to get access to someone else internet service provider user ID and password by hacking or by gaining illegal means. Now the best example we can say, like if it is that everyone now we are having the Wi-Fi routers, right? So one of our neighbor who does not have a Wi-Fi router, what he will be doing, he will be hacking our Wi-Fi router and he will be getting our password of our Wi-Fi, and he will be using our internet time, or he will be using the internet data by using our Wi-Fi network or using our internet service. So that is called the internet time theft. Next, coming to the next category, that is cybercrime against an organization. Now in this one, the attackers will be targeting the organization in order to perform the criminal activities. Now we will be seeing what all types of the attacks they can perform. First one is unauthorized access of computer. Now in this one, what they will be doing, the attackers will be entering into someone else's computer, or they can have the remote access of someone else's computer or remote access of the target without the knowledge. Now the target system can be an organization's computer, or it can be an organization's server. So how they can enter into someone else's system is that by hacking the system, which is one of the cybercrime activity. Next one is, already we have seen, password sniffing, that is getting the login IDs and details and entering into the computer or a network or someone's website. Next one, it is a denial of service. Now it is an attack where the criminals make the machine or network resources available to intended users by temporarily disrupting the services of host. Now the best example for it is that now two organizations are there, the Flipkart, or you can take an Amazon. So these two organizations, they what happened is that the Flipkart will hire an attacker and he will be saying that now for some period of time make Amazon website busy or unavailable so that the customers can do their shopping on my through my website. Now, or sometimes some of the websites we find the server busy, right, or server not found. So this can be an examples of denial of service attacks. Next one, it is a virus attack or dissemination of viruses. Now dissemination is nothing but spreading of viruses. Now simple definition of a virus is, it is a type of computer program that when executed replicates itself by modifying the other program. So once virus enters into our system, what it does is that it might delete some files or it might modify the file types. Now examples of virus, right, are Code Red, Blasters, Slammer. Now virus can be spread either through the internet, it can be spread through a standalone computer, or it can spread through the local area network. So in order to avoid the virus, we can use antivirus softwares. Next one, it is a email bomb or a mail bomb. Sending large number of emails to the victim to crash victim's mail account or to make the victim's mail server crash. It is called a email bomb. Now some computer programs can be written in order to perform the email bombing. Next one, it is a salami attack या salami technique. Now the salami attack and salami technique is a technique in which small negligible attacks which make a huge profit. Now the attack occurs, but the individuals cannot detect the attack because they will be performing it very small, but from that attack they will be making a huge profit. Mainly this technique is used in order to commit the financial crimes. Now for example, a bank employee is there, right? So what he does, he injects a piece of code into a bank server such that whenever a customer does the transaction from the customer's account, maybe a small amount like some 10 rupees or 5 rupees will be deducted from the account, and it will be transferred to the bank employees unofficial account. So what happened, in a day some thousands of people will be doing the transactions, right? So whenever the transaction is done, some amount will be transferred into the bank employees. Now that amount is negligible to us. 1 rupee, 2 rupee, it's get deducted, we won't bother, right? But that small amount, it will be making a huge profit for the bank employees. Or this type of code can be inserted into an ATM machine servers. So that is a salami attack. Next one, it is a logic bomb. Now it is a piece of code intentionally inserted into a software system that will set off malicious functions when specified conditions are met. Now the best example is that programmers, what he will be doing, he will be hiding a piece of code in a software. When the victim downloads that particular software, what happens is that that software will make the deletion of the files in that particular server or in that particular computer. This is called a logic bomb. Next one is a Trojan horse. Now Trojan horse, it is a malware which misleads the users of its true intent. So for example, it is like a virus also, but what it does is that it looks like a legitimate software or a valid software, but when we insert that particular software, what it does is that it does the malfunctioning. Now for example, sometimes we will get a pop-up windows, right? Your CPU processing speed it's getting slow, please boost up your CPU processing speed. So what we does, okay, we think that that particular software is a valid one, and we will be installing that particular software, or we will be executing that particular application. But background, what it does is that it does is that that particular Trojan horse or malware will get executed in our system. So what happens is that it is the particular virus sent by the hacker. Now what it does is that it will be giving the remote access of our system to the attacker, or it checks the passwords, or a keylogger software might be installed using the Trojan horse. So whatever the keys we are striking, that data it will be sending to the hacker. So this is a Trojan horse. It is one of the malware. Next one, it is a data diddling. Data is altered as it is entered into a computer system, often by a person or a computer virus. Now data diddling is nothing but the data can be altered. Now suppose a user is sending a data, but at the server side or in the network, so what happened, the attacker will be changing the data. Now for example, I'm sending 1000 rupees to be transacted to the bank. So at the server might be 2000 might be transaction 2000 rupees might be the transaction. Now 1000 will be getting into my account or debiting from my account. The another 1000 rupees, it will be going to the attacker. So this can be one of the example of data diddling. Next one, it is industrial spying. It is illegal and unethical theft of business trade secrets for use by a competitor to achieve a competitive advantage. Now spying is nothing but keeping an eye on someone's activities, right? So this industrial spying, it mainly happens among the organizations in order to compete with the rivalry organizations. Now for this one, they will be using the softwares called spyware. So whatever the activities the organization is doing, So what type of networks they are using, like what type of operating systems they are using, what type of projects they are doing, so everything they can spy using this spyware software. Next one, it is a computer network intrusion. So any unauthorized activity on the network threaten the security of a network or a data over the network. It is called computer network intrusion. So what happened is that the attackers, they might be getting over the networks, or they might be damaging the machines on the network, or they might be taking the data from the network. So that is called a computer network intrusion. Next one, it is a software piracy. So we all are aware of it, right? Theft of a software through the illegal copying of genuine programs, or the counterfeiting and distribution of products intended to pass for originals. So example can be friends loaning the disc to each other, right? So the one might be buying a software which is a licensed one, but what he will be doing, he will be passing that license key and the software among the friends. So it is a software piracy. Next, what organizations under reporting the number of software installations or not tracking the software licenses. So these are the different types of crimes which we can perform against an organizations or within an organization. Next one, it is a cyber crime against the society. Now they will be targeting the society and they will be performing the criminals. So three crimes. So there are three types of criminal activities which they can perform. It is the forgery, cyber terrorism and web jacking. So the forgery means counterfeit currency notes, postage, mark sheets, etc. And this can be forged using the sophisticated computers, printers and scanners. So making the duplicate or making illegal notes, yes, or they will be making a duplicate mark sheets but which look to be an original ones. So that is called a forgery. So the people who does this type of activities are called the cyber criminals. Next one, it is a cyber terrorism. Use of internet to conduct violent acts that result in or threaten loss of life or significantly bodily harm in order to achieve the political gain. It is called a cyber terrorism. Now what happened is that the nations will be using computer technology in order to perform some unethical crimes on the rivalry nation. So this is called the cyber terrorism. Next one, it is a web jacking. So web jacking, we know hijacking, right? In the same way, web jacking occurs when someone forcefully takes the control of websites. So what happened is that a website is there, right? Now for that website, the admin will be having a login ID and password. So the attacker, what he will be doing, he will be cracking the login ID and password of that particular website, and what he will be doing, he will be changing the ID and password, and what he will be doing, he will be writing the illegal content on that particular website, or he will be posting the illegal content on that particular website, but the actual user or the actual developer of that particular website, he cannot control that activities because someone has hijacked his website. So these are the crimes against the society. The last one, it is cyber crimes emanating from the Usenet news group. So nowadays what happened, in the internet n number of news groups are getting merged, or n number of news groups are being created. Now this news groups also is one of the way of performing the cyber crimes. So what these news groups will be doing is that they will be sharing and distributing information of web. Now that whatever now the example we can say like LinkedIn, right? That is one of the news group we can say, which we know, right? That is nothing but the professionals will be creating a news group in order to make a discussion forums, or in order to share the valid content regarding to their research or regarding to their area. So but what the attackers are doing is that they are taking the advantage of this and they are doing their business. Now what they will be doing, they will be distributing the pirated softwares in that particular news groups. They can sell the stolen data, yeah, stolen property, or they can sell a pirated software package or hacking software. So whenever someone is posting a mislabeled information or deceptive information, so please ignore that one and don't fall into the trap of that one. So whenever you're using the news groups, or whenever you're doing a news group creation, it is the user's risk. Now he will be the person, if he will be the person who is responsible for the whole and sole activities happening on that particular news group. Okay, so these are the different types of crimes which are classified into 5 different categories. So these are called, in another words, we can tell them as forms of cyber crimes. So this classification is done based on the target of individuals, or based on the targeting groups. So we can call all these type of attacks as a forms of cyber crime. So all these classifications what we have seen, they are totally 21 forms of cyber crimes which are categorized based on the target. Okay, so that's all for today. Have a nice day.